Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including the end of Tesla supply issues, new software features on the way including Steam integration, Tesla reducing costs by 60% and more, so let's get into it, and a special thanks to Charity Stars for sponsoring a portion of this video. Go to charitystars.com/Ryan Shaw to enter for your chance to win a Tesla Model 3 Performance. First up today, a couple of Tesla software features are on the way soon. First is a small update for Tesla's Joe mode. This is a mode Tesla allows you to turn on to reduce the sounds of alerts in the car to not disturb children on road trips. When asked, can we get a quieter Joe mode, Elon Musk said, quote, "I guess we could make Joe mode quieter." That's a small update that'll likely be unnoticed, but we could see alerts get even quieter there in the future. Regarding gaming in Teslas, Tesla has promised AAA gaming in the Model S and X since their relaunch in 2021, but has yet to actually add any games and software. The main reasoning for this is that Elon Musk wants to integrate Steam into the vehicles rather than porting over specific games like they demoed with Cyberpunk 2077 back at the Plaid launch event. That was one game that was ported. In this case, they could have thousands. It would immediately open up Tesla to thousands of available games, and when asked this week any updates on Steam integration, Elon responded, "I'm testing it today in Palo Alto. Likely it'll still be some time, but this is exciting to see them working on. I'm personally excited to play certain games on the incredible sound system in the new Model S, but I also want this feature since it's something Tesla promised on this car over a year and a half ago." A feature that is officially on the way in Tesla Update 2022.28 is alternate routes. Right now, when you route in a Tesla, you get one option. It uses Google Maps data, but will route you the fastest way it sees with no other option. According to Not a Tesla app, quote, "The feature will display up to 3 routes after you add a destination. The total travel time for each route will be displayed, allowing you to pick your preferred route." The official release notes from Tesla say, view up to 3 routes when navigating to a destination, quickly compare the total travel time and traffic information for each route. This is a long-awaited feature, and I'm really glad to see it finally coming to Teslas. I love using the maps on screen, but sometimes they are missing features that I miss from Google Maps. This is one of them, and it's coming soon. Tesla software updates are great, but sometimes a feature comes around that you wish you could roll back. And for me, this is the Tesla Profiles feature that they just launched. This will sync all of your profile settings in the cloud and sync them between vehicles if you have multiple. And I currently switch between 3 Teslas, and after the Tesla Profiles update, my seating is all kinds of messed up. It tries to keep the same seating adjustments and steering wheel adjustments between my Model 3 and Model S, and this just doesn't work at all since they are such different cars. As a result, when I get in one car, I have to manually adjust everything. I never used to have to do this because it was saved to my driver profile. It saves that, then syncs that via the cloud, then when I get in the other car, it's wrong there, and I have to manually adjust that. It's a never-ending cycle of going back and forth like this, and it's syncing the wrong settings for each car, and has caused me to just stop using this profile setting. However, I've had to unlink my keys from this 4 separate times now in each car, and I think it just always defaults to that profile regardless. It's very frustrating, and currently for me has broken the drive profile feature of these cars that I've loved so much. I'm pointing this out because it's important to keep in mind with Tesla software updates that sometimes things can get worse. And also I'm hoping maybe someone can see this feedback at Tesla and fix it. It's a brand new feature, so sometimes optimization does take a few updates. Next up today, some very big news for Tesla's future product roadmap. Over the past few years, Tesla and all car companies have been plagued by supply issues. Mainly the chip shortage made the news, and Tesla managed to navigate this better than any other company, only growing their sales during that time. The other piece for scaling has been battery supply. The Tesla Semi has yet to launch, and in 2021, Tesla confirmed the reasoning, saying, quote, "To better focus on these factories and due to the limited availability of battery cells and global supply chain challenges, we have shifted the launch of the semi-truck program to 2022. In April of 2021, Tesla stopped allowing customers to buy Powerwalls by themselves and instead made it so customers could only bundle it with solar. At the time, Elon Musk said solar power will feed exclusively to Powerwall. Powerwall will interface only between utility meter and house main breaker panel, enabling super simple install and seamless whole house backup during utility dropouts. This was also largely due to battery supply though, as they could only make a limited supply of Powerwalls, and and opted to prioritize Powerwalls with solar installations. Recently, it was reported that Tesla has ramped back up to production of 6,500 Powerwalls per week at Giga Nevada, and Elon Musk tweeted saying ordering a Powerwall by itself should be possible end of year. Tesla always has to balance battery supply between the products they make with their focus on shipping vehicles, but clearly something is getting better. Now this has been confirmed by a Tesla executive. Tesla executive Martin Viecha spoke at an invite-only Goldman Sachs conference on Monday. He laid out a lot of what Tesla has in store for the future, and of course, those details have come out. One of the main things confirmed is that, quote, "For the first time I can remember, we can access all the supply we need for both businesses." When saying both businesses, he is referring to Tesla energy business along with their vehicle business. He credits this increase in capacity to Tesla's expansion beyond their partnership with Panasonic. Now they are working with CATL and LG Energy Solutions. On top of that, Tesla plans to add their own volume of 4680 cells, hopefully scaling those this year. Martin reiterated though, quote, "This is the most important part of how this industry can grow in the future. If the industry can 10x from here, the supply chain will need to 10x as well." Essentially, that could be read in reverse as well. If the supply chain is unable to 10x, then the industry is unable to 10x. This is why Tesla is constantly talking about and focusing on the entire supply chain, working with companies down to the raw materials. They are even in the early process of building their own lithium refining facility in Texas, as we reported on in our last video. This is big and great news for Tesla. It means that they will be able to ship the products they already offer, get back to offering Powerwalls to anyone, and continue scaling. On the other side of things, though, are companies like Ford, GM, Rivian, Lucid, VW, and more diving all the way in on EVs. Do they have the supply lined up for future growth? It remains to be seen, and I really hope they do. Next up today, we got even more info about Tesla's plans for the next 5 years from that same talk we talked about earlier. The focus of the talk was on the next 5 years of Tesla, and the biggest topics were battery supply and technology, along with the cost of making vehicles. As Elon Musk has reiterated many times, Martin said that the industry will ultimately grow as fast as the battery supply does. This means that building cells and battery packs, but also designing batteries, mining and refining lithium, nickel, and other raw materials are crucial to EV scaling down the line. The biggest piece here, though, was when he said in 2017, it cost Tesla $84,000 to make each car they sold, on average. Now, that is down to an average of $36,000 per vehicle that they make, and none of those savings are coming from cheaper battery costs. This is huge to hear about directly, and especially huge with upcoming battery savings on the way. Tesla is working hard on future, cheaper batteries like their 4680 cells made in-house, but none of those savings have come to fruition yet, so there are plenty of savings to be had down the line. More about Tesla's scaling, cost savings, and how that affects consumers in just a minute. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Charity Stars. We've partnered with Charity Stars to give you a chance to win a Tesla Model 3 Performance. Charity Stars is a groundbreaking fundraising platform that helps raise money for charitable causes. Donations for this sweepstakes will benefit Guardian Group, a charity that prevents and disrupts human trafficking. The Tesla Model 3 Performance is a 5-seater sedan with an impressive range of 315 miles. It has a top speed of 162 miles per hour and 0 to 60 in under 3.1 seconds, making it one of the quickest EVs on the road. The 15-inch touchscreen, 15-speaker premium audio system, and all-glass roof make it feel like a luxury vehicle. This configuration comes with 21-inch Uber turbine wheels, performance brakes, and a carbon fiber spoiler offering enhanced aerodynamics and handling for ultimate driving control both on and off the track. To enter for your chance to win this Model 3 Performance, visit CharityStars.com/RyanShaw and use the code RyanShaw at checkout to get 500 free entries on your purchase. Again, that's CharityStars.com/RyanShaw and use the code RyanShaw for 500 free entries on your purchase. Tesla's main factory is in Fremont, and Viecha noted that this isn't a great place to build cars since it's so expensive. Tesla's factories in Shanghai and Berlin, along with Texas, enable them to make cars cheaper, and they plan to continue this trajectory down the line to produce EVs at reduced costs. It's unclear at this point if they simply mean they are cheaper to make for Tesla and they're able to increase profits, or if those savings will help them enable a cheaper EV as a whole. In the automotive industry as a whole as well, he sees 3 revolutions. First was the Model T, second was Toyota's cheaper production approach implemented in the 70s, and the third is happening now. Quote, EV architecture is so different from internal combustion engine, it allows for a third revolution in automotive manufacturing. Regarding a cheaper future Tesla, like the $25,000 EV Tesla teased at Battery Day in 2020, he said, if a company wants to be a high-volume automaker, it needs a broad portfolio, and Tesla needs a cheaper offering before its company-operated Robotaxi service comes out. For the time being, though, demand is so strong for the Model 3 and Y Y, so they don't have the need to introduce a new model anytime soon, since they can't scale it without hurting Model Y sales. Quote, Model Y will basically next year become the best-selling vehicle of any kind of all time in the world. As he mentioned earlier, battery supply is ultimately what gets more EVs made. Many get upset that Tesla hasn't introduced a cheaper vehicle and feel it is greedy, but they have a successful product selling for more right now. As unfortunate as it is, right now with battery supply and factory scaling, introducing a cheaper vehicle would just hurt the company all around. For full self-driving, he believes Tesla is on track to send the FSD Beta out to the whole fleet by the end of this year, but noted that it is supervised autonomy. As Tesla collects data and improves, they will be able to solve it, he thinks. Quote, we profoundly believe mass collection of data and AI is the only way to solve generalized autonomy. That's the path we're taking. He even went as far as to say Model S and X are the first generation of Tesla's platform. The Model 3 and Y are the second, and the Robotaxi will be the third. Interestingly, regarding the Robotaxi, it was noted in the original Business Insider article that Martin mentioned the $25,000 Tesla launching prior to the rollout of the Robotaxi. We talked about that earlier. However, he has since corrected this on Twitter. Gary Black tweeted saying, the most bullish message from Martin Vh's GS presentation was that Tesla recognized they need an affordable $30,000 to $35,000 compact EV prior to launching a Tesla Robotaxi, combined with Martin's view that battery availability is no longer an issue. In response, Martin said never said anything about prior to 2024 Robotaxi platform rollout. So he both corrected that, but also mentioned 2024 as the Robotaxi rollout, which is the first we've heard of it. It could be a small detail, and that's what Tesla's current timeline is looking like, but Tesla looks to be planning their Robotaxi rollout in 2024 if they can, and it may or may not come before any cheaper Tesla arrives. As I've speculated many times, I think in the eyes of Tesla and Elon Musk, with a Robotaxi, there's no need to make a cheaper car. A lot of the other stuff Martin talked about has been known, but this is a clear outline of how cheap Tesla is able to make their electric cars. It reiterates Tesla's focus, and it's great to hear about from an executive at Tesla other than Elon Musk. Elon Musk does follow through most of the time, but people can get tired of his constant promises and delays. This clearly lays out what Tesla's vision is and that it matches up with Elon Musk. Now, the interesting thing here is how big of a deal it is that Tesla has reduced their cost to make a vehicle by nearly 60%. The average cost for Tesla to build a vehicle is $36,000, yet their most popular vehicle, the Model Y, starts at $30,000 more than this. While Tesla does hold their mission and wants to make more affordable vehicles, they're in such an advantageous position for EV demand going forward that it may end up frustrating for consumers. Martin specifically mentioned the lack of need to make a cheaper vehicle right now, since the Model 3 and Y are selling so well as is. Tesla is better set up than anyone to scale batteries and ensure they can have their cars truly available to sell. At the same time, they're set up better than anyone to build millions of electric vehicles for less money, allowing them to maximize profits. Elon Musk responded to these cost improvements saying, this was harder than reaching volume production, which was insanely hard. To a degree, and as we continually see, Tesla can charge what they want for their vehicles. People will buy them. People buy them because they like the product and are willing to pay up, but also because Tesla makes EVs that are actually available to buy. So it's exciting to hear that Tesla's cost to build an EV has lowered dramatically in the last 5 years, but it will be some time and likely take a lot of competition for these savings to actually come to the consumer. This is part of why it's a third revolution in Martin's eyes. That big of an EV cost reduction in 5 years is huge and could continue to the point where EVs become cheaper to make than gasoline equivalent vehicles. They'll be an absolute no-brainer, it just takes time to get there, and Tesla can maximize profit on the way, selling every car that they can make. Next up today, Tesla has been only selling Powerwalls with a solar purchase for some time now. As I mentioned earlier, thanks to battery supply, Tesla may be able to sell them a la carte by the end of the year. However, you can still buy solar without Powerwalls, but for Tesla solar roof projects, Tesla is now requiring that you buy at least one Powerwall. The Tesla solar roof is their all-in-one roof that looks better than putting solar panels on top of an existing roof and is supposed to cost around the same as re-roofing and getting solar on top of that. This move is interesting because it requires customers to upgrade and pay more for a Powerwall, but at the same time, when buying Tesla solar, a Powerwall really is a no-brainer. It stores the energy you gain during the day to use when the sun isn't shining and can back up your home during true blackouts. Additionally, Tesla has been been accelerating the rollout of their virtual power plan, which allows owners to sell their excess stored Powerwall energy back to the grid during an event. With more and more customers getting Powerwalls, it keeps individuals safe and will allow for much more energy to be sent back to the grid when necessary. It's a big thing for the future, so it makes sense why Tesla is requiring a Powerwall here. What are your thoughts though? If you bought the Tesla Solar Roof, is there a reason you'd not want to get a Powerwall? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Tesla is now restarting scheduling for Solar Roof installs for the fourth quarter. Last up today, some updates from other automakers. BMW is planning the launch of their new class architecture in 2025, and for that platform, they confirmed they are developing 46mm diameter battery cells. You may notice this is the same new design Tesla is using. This has been rumored for some time now, but is now confirmed in a new press release. They said the newly developed 6th generation of our lithium-ion cells will bring a huge leap in technology that will increase energy density by more than 20%, improve charging speed by up to 30%, and enhance range by up to 30%. They aren't just promising this though, they are actually serious about scaling these cells, saying, quote, "To meet our long-term needs, we will be building battery cell factories with our partners, each with an annual capacity of up to 20 gigawatt hours at 6 locations in key markets for us, 2 in China, 2 in Europe, and 2 in USMCA. These contracts with CATL and EVE Energy are in the, quote, 2-digit billion euro range, and BMW further confirmed they plan to make cells in 2 different form factors. One will be 4680 like Tesla, and another will have a different height. This is big news for BMW and shows them getting serious about battery supply for their future EVs. Aptera publicly debuted the Gamma version of their solar EV at Fully Charged Live in San Diego last week. People got to see first true looks inside and outside the Aptera, and it's clearly very Tesla inspired. They say that next will be the Delta prototypes, which will be the production intent design, and then they plan to begin assembly. They have over 32,000 reservations for this wildly different EV and plan to be scaling production in 2023. Definitely hoping for the best there, as this could be a solar EV that rarely needs charging and can get incredible range. They say 1,000 miles. VW unveiled the ID Extreme, which is their variation of the ID4 made for off-roading. They are aiming this at adventurers and plan for it to be a rugged off-road machine. It has 2 motors, 285 kilowatts of total output, and uses VW's MEB platform. For now, it's a concept, but VW plans to see how people react and decide how to proceed. Quote, "We are really eager to find out how the fans of electromobility react to the vehicle. Based on the feedback from our community, we will decide how to proceed with the project." That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see a video about the faster EV charging on the way, you can check that out linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.